Hello and welcome back to the NA qualifiers here at the StarLadder Minor. My name is Nomad and joining me is Elevated as we get into Zoomies versus Fighting Pandas in this best of 5 series to find out who's going to be making it through to that minor. The second NA team going to be joining the Business Associates aka XJ Storm over in Ukraine to battle it out against the best in the, well, actually not the best in the world, they're at the major, but the nearly the best in the world for that spot at the major. All right, yeah, blew the opening. Elevated, how you doing, man?
Oh, I thought you did wonderful, my friend.
Thanks, dude.
I always find it a little funny that the minor qualifier is a BO5.
Yeah,
When the major qualifiers are only BO3s.
yeah. I didn't really get that myself. I don't know. I guess it's the last match of everything. You know, the entire qualifiers. This is the final one. So yeah, it all comes down to it. One last series, one last chance. Zoomies, Fighting Pandas. This is it. If you don't get this, then you're not going to be playing in the DPC. And, I mean, one team definitely is going to be the favorite in this matchup, and that's going to be the Fighting Pandas. They've got Aoi, Briar, Moon, Envy, and Snaking. You know, these guys, we all know their names. And these guys
they even have some DPC points, too. So, one team has DPC points, one team doesn't. That's usually a good indication of who the favorite would be. But like we talked about at the beginning or the end of last game, Fighting Pandas, they looked a little shaky yesterday. They got pretty handled by Business Associates, and Zoomies might not be quite the same tier, but they certainly looked pretty good in the last series, and they were riding some momentum. And looks like they're going to get some of the heroes that we saw them play, like the Void Spirit and the Disruptor.
Yeah, now let's not forget that both these teams have been defeated by the Business Associates, but have not come across each other yet in the minor. Did they come across each other in the major? Let's just take a quick little peeky over.
10 seconds remaining.
Seems like they're in the same groups. They must have played against each other.
5 seconds remaining.
And that match went to the Fighting Pandas.
Radiant team ban. Radiant team
So I don't think that's a really big surprise. 32 minutes and 31 minutes, so pretty safe wins from the Fighting Pandas. Pretty much as expected, really.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, this is going to be a nice quick game. We have a Naga Siren picked.
I'm not sure on that one, Chief, but yeah, Naga Disruptor combo coming out for the Zoomies. I'm actually a little bit surprised this one got through the draft, but Fighting Pandas either don't care or didn't spot it.
Yeah, the Naga Siren's definitely fallen out of favor just because it's one of the slower heroes that is still viable as a carry, and we're seeing a lot more of this up-tempo style. However, Disruptor plus the Naga Siren is always disgusting to play against.
Yeah.
And gives Zoomies a good option for, overcoming the Fighting Pandas in team fights at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. However, I do like the answer to this. They pick up the Darks here, so this is going to be something to shove in the lane versus the Naga Siren. Despite having a lot of armor, Naga doesn't really have that much effective HP against magic, so this Iron Shell can be a real pain in the butt for her. Hard for her to bring it down super quickly, and illusions aren't going to be able to do much to bring down the Iron Shell creep if she does end up under a tower against this guy in a 1v1, so that can be pretty annoying.
Yeah, and while Naga does have the net to counter Surge, you're usually not going to be leveling that until much later on in the game. So Darkseer is one of those heroes that kind of just exists in the lane. And while he gives the opposing carry free farm, at least in this case, the farm's going to be coming back his way because Naga just shoves the lane also and tries to get as much farm as possible without really threatening the person that they're playing against.
Yeah, exactly.
Dire team pick.
For their fourth pick, take up the Oracle here. Yeah, a bit of an interesting one. Not like a super classic combo with the Naga Siren, but I guess you've got that Purge for the Darkseer creeps, so that can be pretty annoying. Or the Darkseer himself.
Yeah, Oracle actually is going to make Darkseer's life really difficult. I remember when
10 seconds.
I can't remember what patch it was, but when Darkseer was quite prevalent, people started picking up Enchantress,
5 seconds
grabbing the Purge creep, and I saw a couple of Darkseer games just absolutely ruined by that combo because he got 0 farm, he wasted all of his mana, had no levels, no experience, no gold, nothing. And so I really like this response from Zoomies, actually.
Yeah, I like it a lot as well. I'm excited to see it. If they can make it work, then it's going to look very good indeed. My only counterpoint to this is that now you've got to disrupt the Oracle as your support duo. It does feel very
Radiant
slow. There's going to be a
team
lonely
back.
Void Spirit looking for somebody to play with, because these two guys aren't going to be doing a whole lot of fighting, you know. You're very light on stun still on the side of Zoomies. And I was expecting Fighting Pandas to actually go straight into the Storm, because they love this hero, but they actually take out the Leshrac instead.
Leshrac a little bit more up tempo, gives you plenty of tower push, gives you a lot of wave shove, and
10
is
seconds
quite good
remaining.
against Naga Siren up until Naga gets, you know, like 5 items or so.
remaining.
And even then, Leshrac does so much
Dire
spread
team
damage
back.
that you function relatively well against the hero.
Forgot to say it, but of course the religious Pangolier ban from Fighting Pandas. They don't want Lucky to have that hero.
Were you asking if he's the best Pango in the world? Because I think it's already been established.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, he did win his Pango game, so 100% win
5
rate as I've
seconds
seen so far.
remaining.
There you go, number one.
Number one, baby. Jarikov to banned out by zooming. Fire to
Dire
Pandas.
team pick.
I'm gonna ban out the Husker. I was
Radiant
gonna
team pick.
definitely looking for those kind of cheesy heroes to get out of the pool, and they'll just go for the NV troll.
Yeah, this is a good pick. It's been one of Envy's favorite heroes to play recently. And while there is the Void Spirit on the other side, you know, if Zoomies wanted to run an Oracle Troll combo, they certainly could throw the Troll
10 seconds remaining.
into the mix. Naga Siren can be run mid, Troll can be run mid,
5
Void Spirit can
seconds
be flexed to the
remaining.
off lane.
And
So
they
it's always
really
a
seem to
possibility.
enjoy this Darkseer plus Troll Warlord combo. It seems to be popular for them. Just the ability to surge up the Troll whilst he's in his ultimate and make sure he can keep on his target, keep those further stacks coming and get some nets off is very, very valuable to them. And you can see why.
Yeah, they've got a lot of nice heroes to take advantage of the Surge and the Ion Shell for that matter.
Mhm.
Both the Troll and Nyx can take good advantage of the Ion Shell to amplify their damage. Leshrac would even like the Surge. It's a hero that wants to just chase people down.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Leshrac, it's a really good pick. 'Cause I mentioned before about the Naga Siren's armor. She's got really high armor, low health is kind of how that balancing works. So with this magic damaging Leshrac running at you, it's going to be a pain in the ass for the Naga Siren to deal with. And she does not like building BKB as an illusion carry.
Yeah, 100%. I think this matchup is super Leshrac favored until Naga just gets absolutely huge. He has all stat items like the Heart or the Scotty or whatever. So Fighting Panda is definitely looking to hit a timing in the mid game and punish Zoomies for
Choose your
picking a
hero.
slower win condition on their heroes.
Yeah, the one flip side is that Naga Siren can get the diffusal, well, will get the diffusal blade, which can be very annoying for the Leshrac because he's just going to get his mana sapped away all the time. But usually, he does. What the hell is that Lesh? Why is there a hairy Leshrac on my screen? I do not like this at all. This is making me deeply uncomfortable.
He's just growing it out.
All right.
He's in the off season. Doesn't need to shave under his armpits or
Someone
anything
doesn't
like
have a
that.
Valentine's. All right, Zoomies versus Fighting Pandas, game number 1 in a best of 5 series. A possible 5 games to come. We could be entering a long, long battle to find out who is going to be the victor here in this matchup. And, most people are going to be favoring the Pandas, favoring Eternal Envy, and this draft is looking pretty tight from them. I don't see many flaws in it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this last pick, Centaur, I don't really know if it solves any of their issues. It's like an okay hero. It's not going to pressure the Troll in lane, and even the Stampede can be somewhat countered by the Nyx Assassin. You try and run away, and he just spike carapaces you. So, it's okay, but I definitely think that Fighting Pandas have the upper hand here.
Yeah, I think it's feeling pretty pretty nice in this draft so far. And I honestly don't like the Oracle that much. I know it's a good pick into the darks here, and if it gets a lot done in that lane, then I'll feel a little bit better about it. But otherwise, there's that hairy Leshrac again. Jesus, just completely
Take a
ruining my train
gander
of
at
thought.
that.
Hey boys, let me just giddy up. Take a nice look. Yeah, but then you look at the Oracle on the other side. Nagasaran isn't really a hero who necessarily wants an Oracle with her. You know, she's not one of these guys who usually likes to dive in deep and be safe. She's more of a play around the side, play in her group of illusions, and go hard like that. So
Yeah, it is.
maybe they got baited by this Oracle pick a bit.
It is a little bit weird because you kind of just don't care about the Darkseer that much. I feel like it might be committing a little bit too much to counter. But it also could have been a deny pick to make sure that Pandas don't take an Oracle troll. I think at the point where they took the Oracle, there was still some flexibility in terms of what roles the Pandas heroes were going to be on.
Good luck, have fun, Banny Boy. Sammy Boy says, thank you, same. Oh, a bit of love here. I understand there might be a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice in this matchup somewhere along the line, namely between Eternal Envy and Sammy Boy, as he was the victims of one of the famous kickings up in the top lane. Well, Centaur is apparently experiencing a kicky at the hands of Envy as well. Envy already looking for the next target, as they will get the kill onto Lucky, and Briar will be taking that one indeed. So up in the top lane, fighting Pandas will draw first blood. Goodbye, Centaur.
Yep, they'll claim 2 runes here, and
The battle begins.
the bottom one will depend on
Block him. Doesn't get him though. Snaking gets there in time. Your blocks weren't good enough, son. Sammy Boy will remain a boy for the time being, but if he gets his farm, if he gets enough items online and can take control of this game, then we might see Sammy Man. But until then, he will retain the title of boy.
Flapjack was trying to wrap around and get the Fortune's End on the creep right away, but unfortunately a little bit too slow.
Oh no. No, he's going to play the long catch-up. Question is, do you use it on the creep or do you also snaking? Oh, snaking's put on himself. Yeah, Flapjack knows, good man. We're getting baited in by the creep. Snaking's just like, please don't do it. Don't take my ion shell. And nicely done on the creep instead. Cool. Dodges the double bait. Yeah, snaking 3 iron shells in. So far, so good. Naga keeping it chill.
Yep, I mean, both these heroes are going to get their farm. Naga more than the Darkseer for sure. Going to be a bit of a snooze fest in the lane as Moon Meander likes to pull the creeps and give Snaking a bit easier time farther away from this pesky Oracle.
Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Ched styling on Briar a little bit, using the remnants, using the Resonant Pulse. Just secure as many creeps as possible. And Briar just holding the points right now. He's got 1 point in Split Earth. Probably will take up the 7 point at level 3, but until then, we're waiting on the Edict of the Lightning Storm, depending how he wants to play the lane. Whether he wants to be pushing, or whether he wants to be ganking, whether he wants to be harassing. He's got his options wide open. The world is his oyster.
Yeah, I am a little interested to see which direction he goes. I feel like the Lightning Storm is better against the Void Spirit, but if the Void Spirit's rotating, then you definitely want the Edict to punish the tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've got to remember that Edict damage will be absorbed up by his Resonant Pulse shield, so it's something to take into account for Briar.
Oh, dodge the Remnant, and that will be Briar getting the haste rune. Oh, runs into the Remnant on the way back.
Well, you know, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, I guess. Meanwhile, Moon, he's looking for some couriers, but the creeps see it, and quick reactions there from the Nagasaran, going to keep her courier alive, and Moon dropping to about half health from the tower. Whoopsie doodle.
Yeah, these tier 2 towers were immensely buffed several patches ago, and they really, really hurt level 1 heroes.
They slap, quite literally. Lukey on the runny from Eternal Envy and owie.
Yeah, this Enchantress hero is something else. If you have an Ench player on your team, the Ench 5 has become quite
Radiant's courier has been
the support hero.
And we're finding out right now a Sword is taking a whole load of spears to the face, and both of these guys just getting zoned out right now. This is Disruptor, you know, he's supposed to be king of the lanes right now, but owie, he is in control in the driving seat.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, one thing I don't like which Aoi is doing, which I've seen some other players do differently, is going straight in with the impetus. I actually prefer it when we see the support players kind of come around the side on the inch, start throwing the spears, and then only throw the impetus when they start running away. Because then they're like, oh, well, I don't want to run away because she's not actually used impetus yet. And I know the moment I run away, she's going to use impetus, but at the same time, she's getting 3 right clicks on me. And then you get more damage as well because obviously they're moving further away when you use impetus. That's something I've seen a few people do. No tell to name one.
Yeah, it's some pretty 200 IQ stuff. I approve. So
Yeah,
sometimes it's a little
flip
things that
side
make
is
a difference.
there's a cooldown, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion.
He will get the pull off though, so and be shoving the lane out. Gonna pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, just making sure Luke doesn't get too much from this one.
Levels starting to favor the dire side, at least in this top lane here. Envy almost hitting level 4.
Yeah, he's having a good time. Chantress able to stay away from the lane while still contribute a lot with impetus, so it can be very, very annoying.
Radiant's courier has been
Meanwhile,
killed.
down at bottom, Moon finally gets what he came for. Grabs that courier, brings down Sammy Boy's goods. But they're going on snaking right now. He has got the haste, which doesn't get purged off, but the Purifying Flame's going to do the job. Bring down that Darkseer in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Leshrac in mid is going to get finished off by the tower here, and Ched survives through it all. Bryle dies in the mid.
It's a nice little boost for Chad, hitting level 6.
Dire's
Quite low though, and it's gonna have to go a little bounty rune foray to refill his
Radiant
life and
are
mana.
scanning.
Lukey dies up in the top lane as well on the Centaur kills, suddenly popping off all over the map as we hit that 5-minute marks when people start brawling. There's bouncy runes and a bit of coincidence as well.
So Moon Meander's still level 1 at 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the game.
He's hanging.
That's it's a little scary. You know, he's doing his job to help this Darkseer get a lane, but oh okay. I actually kinda like this. They're gonna give Moon the lane and have Darkseer just go hard jungle.
Yeah, give him some levels. He's going to try and mess with the equilibrium as much as he can. Doesn't really stand much of a chance of interrupting this laning phase so much. Meanwhile, where is Nago? Oh, she's in the jungle now. And Lukey's taking bottom lane. Meanwhile at mid, they're trying to fight again here, but Bryle, he's getting jumped upon by Sword, but in comes Owie. He's got those impetuses. Sword trying to block up Owie as best he can, and Chad is going to live for now. Both mid laners keep themselves alive.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Is that what you're asking for?
No, I was going to Queen.
Okay.
Keep yourselves alive. Meanwhile, Nyx playing around, but another Purifying Flames and another kill comes in for the Flappy Jackie.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That is not
Yeah, this
ending.
Oracle hero, he just
Radiant's
such a good
middle tower
kill
is under
sniper.
attack.
He's like better than Zeus is at kill stealing in the early game.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Kill securing, I should say.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Well,
Radiant's top
Leshrac with
tower
these
is under
Edict
attack.
trying to get some pressure up onto the top tower here, helping Envy push it in. This is something which Fighting Pandas have loved to do recently, just constantly push in lanes and try and take towers really early on. It seems to favor their playstyle quite a lot.
Yeah, pretty important to do against the Naga Siren as well. The hero is going to take over map control once she gets a couple of items and sends us illusions all over the place. And so it's super imperative to start choking her out as early as possible.
Lukey in some trouble as the Fighting Pandas gather up in the bottom lane and put the Centaur to sleep.
And just like that, a 4-man rotation in the bottom lane. This tower is now the target. Almost a baited play, getting rotations in the top lane and then everybody TP's bottom to take the fight there.
Yeah. The old switcheroo, as we like to call it.
Yeah, I would say that this bottom tier 1 tower is actually even more important than the top one by quite a bit, so it legitimately could have just been trying to bait some rotations there.
Yeah, if you have this tower advantage, if you have the enemy's tier 1 tower and they don't have yours, then your map suddenly goes from being like this to being like kind of this until you take
Yeah.
this tower, and then you can kind of open it up a little bit more.
Yeah, and you even get their ancient stack usually, so one team has 2 ancients, the other team has 0 with the changes to the map.
They have rooms for this.
Matters more when you have like a Sven or a Medusa or something like that on your team.
Yeah, these stack farming early jungle heroes. Naga not as interested in ancients. Still like some though. Still like to play.
Yeah, especially with the 3 times item drop rate from the Ancients now. It's a little bit extra important, I would say. Stun to stun.
In some trouble. In comes the stuns. In come the damage as well. It looks like Luki might be heading that way as well, but he does get a 2-man stun off. And now, well, Flapjack going to throw in a purge as well, just chasing off the fighting pandas. They try to come in and do a bit of damage, but will be sent onto the retreat. Coming off that 10-minute mark now. And both outposts do belong to the fighting pandas. I'd love to see the Zoomies maybe push in at top and take the enemy jungle. Meanwhile, Sammy Boy having to go for a song here. He's hanging around. I'm not sure he wants to. Maybe just making sure that Envy completes his TV or something. I'm not too sure, but no, he was just checking him out.
Just wanted to sing. Sometimes you just randomly burst out into song. I know you're familiar with that. It's contagious sometimes, actually.
True. Yeah, gotta make sure you give the whole performance. Don't want to jump away early.
This Enchantress is already level 6. Aui's having quite a game. He's always been one of those semi-greedy farming position 5 players coming from that 4 role, so I'd expect him to actually have a pretty high damage output throughout this game.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Agents of the void.
Faded Brooch, always a nice item to pick up for Leshrac. In fact, I saw Iceberg want to play Leshrac, and he held on to the Faded Brooch until 40 minutes into the game, only to swap it up for a Ninja Gear, because he just really wanted movement speed.
Yeah, especially with most things giving a percentage-based movement speed now, having anything that's just flat movement speed is so valuable. That's why you see most people picking up the boots plus the wind lace.
Although the moment he received the Faded Brooch, he just starts dancing. Just starts throwing down some moves. Couldn't help it. The boogie took him.
Pings come out for the mid tier 1 tower. Zoomies definitely needs to take this so they can have a little bit more map control.
Yeah. They didn't make that movement at 10 minutes like I asked them to. Gotta take the outpost or anything like that, so that's always frustrating. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they've gone for the play here. They're dropping down the Static Storm and will certainly be getting themselves a kill into Snaking, so a pretty clean assassination from the Zoomies. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Sammy Boy just doing his best to kind of push things out here. Senses the trap nice and early, sends some illusions out. Of course, Bryle is here looking for the jump. And yeah, Sammy Boy is so aware of this.
Middle tower.
Yeah, Fighting Pan is actually smoked under a ward, so.
Careful. There you go. Yeah, Lashrac's got himself away now, so we'll have all the information he needs. Meanwhile, another day, another glimpse, another kinetic field, and another kill onto Moon Meander, it looks like. However, they need a little bit more, holding him steady here. Flapjack, though, he's got the Purifying Flames, and that's going to be killed. Oh. Alrighty. Wanted to leave himself a little headstone, I think. That one reads, "Here lies me, best support in the game."
Sometimes you just try and help up your buddy, and it costs you your ultimate. Not the end of the world. Envy happily farming in the top lane. He's still ahead of the Nog in terms of net worth. Going for the Maelstrom.
Should have thrown it over a while ago. Goodness. Not on the point with my my net worth this time, but I guess we've had some particularly active laning phase compared to yesterday, where we had like games with 1 kill at this stage. So. The distraction.
Now, Aoi grabbing one of the Nog illusions.
Dire structures are fortified.
Yeah, always a fun little play.
Radiant structures are
Super
fortified.
annoying just to turn it against her.
Especially back during the Radiance days.
Oh yeah. There's a little bit of a standoff going right now. Fireboy does have the Song of Siren. They do have themselves a Static Storm, and if they can get the distance, but they can't. Ooh. The range. It's too little.
Lukey was TPing when he popped it. Sammy Boy was definitely
he
expecting
couldn't pop the
Stampede.
ulti. No, it would have been beautiful. It would have been perfect. They're all together. But unfortunately, no Stampede, no Song, no Static Storm, no chance. Again, just a little example of Zoomies not really quite being on the same page, perhaps, in some situations. Meanwhile, Lukey, unfortunately the only page he's going to be on is today's... Ooh, yeah, obituary. He's got the Stampede, and now with the save coming out from Flapjack, okay, never mind, he avoids the obituary now. They're looking to turn themselves around. Ched jumping forwards here, dim simulating onto Aoi right now. He's going to be the target. I like that move from Aoi there, just sitting right on top of the Void Spirit to make sure that he didn't go for the displacement forwards onto the Leshrac instead, forcing him to choose a target. Very cute.
Yep, and kind of an anticlimactic end to that engagement. Back to farming. Mid tower should probably be pressured here by fighting PandaS very soon. Bryle just gonna shove out the lane for now. We need to start getting some eyes on this Naga. Sammy Boy is having a pretty decent game so far.
He's not crying. Unfortunately, MD is neck and neck. It's going to be a battle of the carries. Well, that's actually what people are here to see, isn't it? That's a spice ball right there. Well, Nick Assassin going to get initiated on. Lukey going to stun up himself with that stomp as well, though. Now with the wall coming down as well, and then he's going to pop the ultimate and go for this one. Unfortunately,
nice
glimpse back. Yeah, it could mean he's in trouble. Oh, he forgot about the Dark Troll Summoner. There comes a net, and Lukey is just waiting down the time until he dies. The center is gone. Another overextension from Lukey is going to involve in his demise.
Radiant's top
Meanwhile,
tower
Moon
is
will
under
not be getting the
attack.
bounty rune, says Flapjack. Oh, Bryle waiting on the high ground, though. They did not expect this one to come in. Flapjack loses life in the end. Thought he was playing Moon Meander, but didn't check in front of him.
A tie to the impurities.
You know, it looks like Naga was able to grab both of the other bounty runes, though.
Radiant's
At least
top
one of them.
tower is under attack.
We'll just continue farming up. This is a really nice place for the Naga to be. Obviously, you've got, boom, a triangle here, and then boom, lane here, boom, lane
Radiant's
here.
middle
It's got so
tower
much
is under
from
attack.
this one little space. It's amazing. It's a dream.
Yeah, this is
Radiant's
the
middle
map
tower
control
has fallen.
that Naga Siren
Radiant's
wants
top
to be
tower
putting out
is under
there.
attack.
Cutting waves, cutting two waves, and also farming the jungle at the same time. This is how you really start to accelerate on the hero.
Yeah, unfortunately,
But,
the counter push is coming in from fighting PandaS. Oh, okay. There's a dead disruptor, apparently. Apparently, I was thinking straight up.
Dire's
Who knew?
bottom tower is under attack.
Rest in
Radiant's
peace.
middle tower is under attack.
Sammy Boy can TP out before fighting PandaS migrate back to their triangle.
Yeah, he's had his squatting rights.
Dire's
Now
bottom
he's gonna
tower
leave.
is under attack.
Yeah, Naga doing pretty great. She's got this Manta style finished up at 16 minutes. Nothing to complain about at all for her, really. Doing well, getting the space she needs. I mean, the concern does come from Ched here. I think he's got his Yules in his courier, which is dead? Or maybe he doesn't have the Yules yet. There is a
think it
courier
might be.
here. Oh yeah, it's in the courier. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this first
Radiant's bottom
Void
tower
Spirit.
is under
I really think that Thompson was onto something with his crit first and then the Yules potentially if you need it.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like there's really no damage on the side of Zoomies. And, you know, sure, you don't want to fight necessarily with a Naga Siren lineup yet, but sometimes you have to just to get that space.
Coming up the high ground, Moon Meander is waiting, but they have the vision on him, and they've got to run him down as well, so they're able to control him and assassin nicely with the net coming through as well. Just waiting and back. Really? Really, Disruptor?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Of all the people to take that absolutely 100% guaranteed kill, I don't think it had to be you, Sword, but there we go. Man wants his money, what can I say? Respect the grind, hashtag hustle. That kind of thing. They are Zoomers after all, that's their lingo.
They
What
are
else does
Zoomers after all.
Yeah. It
So
slaps.
same.
That's one I've been enjoying recently. I've seen that one on Twitter. It gone slap. Who's doing the slap in this game? Well, so far it's probably been Bryle with most kills, to be honest. As now he might find himself having a bit of a slapping in right now, but a
So
nice two-man
tanky.
stun from Moon Meander, and now they're up onto the high ground here. They're controlling the fight quite nicely. Meanwhile, in the backlines, they're able to kill a Flapjack with the Stampede to try and get themselves away, but unfortunately, it looks like Looky, his time is out, and he's going to get run down as well, and there's 2 kills for Bryle here in the jungle. Meanwhile, Sammy Boy still wants nothing to do with this. He
Radiant's
doesn't have his
bottom
defusal
tower
yet, doesn't
is
want to
under
fight.
attack.
Wants to keep on splitting waves, keep on playing the backlines. But meanwhile, Fighting Pandas have
Radiant's
gotten their
bottom
first
tower
tier 2
has
of the
fallen.
game. Not super fast, you know, they're not playing at like a deadly pace, a worrying pace for Zoomies just yet, but I don't think they're feeling like also
Dire's
super
top
comfortable
tower
about this
is
game.
under attack.
They just have to wait, hold on, hope that the Nagasaran can get the space, hope they can keep making the space for Sammy Boy as well. The moment this net starts to close onto the Nagasaran is when this game gets difficult. My only concern is that the net worth on
Radiant's
Bryle and
middle
Envy
tower
is
is
both
under
equal with
attack.
Sammy Boy, which probably isn't the best. You expect the Naga to have maybe a little bit more, but unfortunately that's not the case right now.
Yeah, with so many towers already taken, Fighting Pandas have a nice gold as well as just having access to camps to farm. I also want to just say that I really like Owie's item build here. He goes for the Bracer and then the Glimmer Cape right away, and we saw it there. He takes almost no damage during these team fights because Naga is probably not going to show up, and she's basically the only physical damage on the side of Zoomies.
Yeah, and I still don't think she should turn up to anything until she's got the defusal, honestly. But it's not long. It's not long at all. Oh, there we go. This time they're getting an outpost. That's it. Listen to Uncle Nomad. Get your XP, kids. XP to Dota heroes is like calcium is to a young growing child.
It's true. You know, the
Growth.
big,
Radiant's middle
strong
tower is under
adult
attack.
hero that can take care of itself, do its own taxes. Very important that you have your calcium.
Dire's top tower is under
For
attack.
sure. Meanwhile, Moomiander going for what we've seen almost every single Nick Assassin go for. The Meteor Hammer. Once again, it's a level 10 talent with a plus 0.3 seconds in pale stun duration. A lot of people, when they saw that, go, what's that talent? What is this? This was for GPM you traded for? But actually, it's like, well, it actually makes the stun long enough to enable the Meteor Hammer every single time. So, it becomes kind of legit.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, certainly not bad. Gives the Nyx Assassin a farming capability as well, which he normally would never have or itemize into. So lets him have a little bit more split pushing
Radiant's
potential
middle
as well.
tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bryle is closing in on a Bloodstone. He's quite farmed on this Leshrac, and once he gets a BKB, if he does go for one, Envy's got a BKB queued up, getting pretty close as well. Then
Radiant's bottom
Sammy
tower
Boy is going to have to
under
be
attack.
quite a bit more scared.
He should be scared right now. Does manage to get the song off in time. And there's a lot of pings coming out. They actually want to try for something right now. They might have two heroes just inside the kinetic field static storm combination.
no.
Yes, they do, but Fighting Pandas, they are not remotely perturbed by this. They're just going on straight away. They'll be able to bring down Flapjack, and now they look for more surge. Eternal Envy looking for a target. Talk over the TP. Yes, they're going to land it. Doesn't matter. He's got the damage with the ulti to bring down another. Naga gets out to the high ground, and that was just awkward from the Zoomers right there. They were like, all right, we got a song off. Actually, there's happy to be two heroes caught here. We can combo them up, but then they just drop the ulti and run. It was kind of like a hit and run technique, and unfortunately, Fighting Pandas have more than enough chains to be able to get themselves two tail kills here. And now Roshan gets opened up, and no song to interrupt it, no Void Spirit nearby to try any shenanigans. Just straight up Aegis for Eternal Envy.
Yeah, during that fight, Owie was actually just shoved to the bottom lane, and he almost took the tier 3 tower in the bot. That's why they actually had to retreat, because they were going to lose racks if they actually took the fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, great split pushing coming out from Fighting Pandas. Messing up the combo.
He may be caught out here, but they're going to pop the Stampede and try and go in for something. Actually, it's going to be Snaking who's the one caught out here, and down he goes. That's a dead Darkseer. Not too sure on that one. A couple of misengagements here. Seems to be the teams initiating the fights are the ones losing the fights. Intriguing. Meanwhile, Owie having a dance with death, and inviting Nick Assassin to come and join him as well. This will be one kill onto Owie, and now the second kill coming out onto Moon Meander as well as they have him stunned up. Lockdown on the high ground. Down goes two. Sammy Boy grabbed himself the double, and they can get straight back to work, evening the scales of the game.
Yeah, that was a banger right there. Nice chase out by the... it did slap, and the Fighting Pandas got slapped down. Sammy Boy, Imp Claw, Diffusal Blade, Mantis Style. Still not at the top of the net worth charts, but he's certainly doing his best to carry this team right now. The gap close is quite scary. If Fighting Pandas decide that the fight doesn't look that good, they have almost no chance of getting away. So it's basically, you take the fight and you commit, or you never fight.
Precisely. And meanwhile, I have a Desolator queued up on the Void Spirit, so I'm not going for any of this. Oh, no. Okay, Fireback's going down again here. He seems to have accepted his fate. I'm going to get some vision. I'm going to tank this gank. I'm going to get some wards down. Doing my job. I die in the process, and I've died in active duty. May I be remembered as a hero.
Fighting Pandas are starting to kind of close the noose a little bit. Looking to finish off this tier 3 tower. They should be able to get it. Song is up.
And they don't care. They know exactly when. Oh, they've got the stolen creep to just lead the charge in. And even in mid lane, actually, there's creep pushing past the tower as well. So, yeah, backdoor well and truly down. And beat. Sick dodge. Absolutely incredible. Now they've got the song coming out. They've got 3 heroes inside the Static Storm that they want to go for. Looks like Envy's just on the wrong side of it. He's got the BKB anyway. He's going to turn around straight away. Going on to Luki. Luki's going to pop the Stampede. Try and get them out of it, but the combo comes down onto them, and everybody's dying in the middle of this one. Brawl can't keep himself alive. Neither can Chet, though. Both the mid lane is going down. Meanwhile, Nagasara, she's been kept alive by the false Pomerus, but unfortunately, there's so much damage coming out. She is going to heal up just enough to not die through it. But now come the Impetai. Aui's doing the damage. Flapjack trying to run himself away. Nice little turnaround there to keep himself alive. Trying to live through it. Gets up to the high ground, but Luki gets finished off the backgrounds, and meanwhile Fighting Pandas, they're just getting to work on the buildings. Unfortunately, they won't be able to go for any more than this. Although Envy is pretty insistent he wants to take this middle tower, even though he can't. Meanwhile, Moon caught out a little bit here. The dust going to come down as well, but Sammy Boy a little bit afraid to go forward. He is going to have this ensnare available in just a second. The Swords are taking some damage to come in, get the Vendetta kill. Sammy Boy in the middle of everything, but his teammates are just dropping like flies around him. You might be farmed, you might be the Big Mac Daddy here, Sammy Boy, but unfortunately you're not looking after your children. You're a bad parent, and Fighting Pandas are going to murder the kids and get themselves out. See you later, boys. We are out. Can they get any return kills? I don't think so. Chad's chasing forwards. He has got a Yule's going to throw it onto Snaking. Here's Sammy Boy. He's in as well. They are starting to... Well, no one's really respawning. It's just a 2-man. And again, they're just going for the Void Spirit instead. And with Brawl coming back into this one. Meanwhile, Sammy Boy in the backline is trying to find Aoi, but Aoi's just going to skip himself away. Alright, Snaking. We'll get him instead. Surely this is a kill, right? Nope. Snaking still getting away. Alright, managed to connect with the right clicks. But meanwhile, on the backline, Chad's gone down again. Sammy Boy taking the damage as Brawl just brings him down with the magic. And they're going to get the kill onto the Naga Siren. And, well, Zoomies, you get Snaking, and that is all you get. I mean, they got Briar earlier as well, but in that last set of engagement, it was only the Dark Seal that goes down, and just great prioritization from the Fighting Pandas. They realize that the Naga Siren's just a little bit too strong. They realize they got too many saves heading their way, so they just go for everybody else instead. Unfortunately, I do feel like Luki's been making himself a bit of an obvious target on the front lines. Let's see what they can do this time around. They have the buyback on the Naga Siren. 17 seconds till Chad's coming back into this one. Meanwhile, Envy's just being held on the front lines. He still has this Aegis for another 32 seconds. And by gum, he's going to make some good use of it. Lucky trying to sit on the front lines. The Centaur's pretty annoying as well. A bit of Centaur and Centaur action here in the mid lane. Very nice, but it looks like the melee barracks will eventually be fought. No, okay. Song comes out along with a fortification. Okay. Now they drop the Centaur, but once again, Envy's got that BKB available. They're just going to do the exact same thing. Turn onto the Centaur, bring him down, control up Sammy Boy in the backlines with the Yules, and Envy just going for the big targets. Flapjack's going to be the next one coming down. Chad has to blink himself away. Meanwhile, the backlines, it's Sammy Boy in trouble. Brow trying to chase him down here. Will he land a stun? He will not be able to do so. Sammy Boy gets himself out, but they don't care. They're not going for kills. They're not trying to win the fights. They're trying to take the base, and that they are doing marvelously. They've taken 2 lanes of rack so far. There is still a tier 2 up in the top lane, but they have the same problem at mid and seem to work around it just fine. Maybe they can keep the aggression up, but I imagine Fighting Pandas, they have taken more than they came for. They've basically swung the game into such an easy state for themselves that it's just going to be a bit of a cakewalk to the end now for them.
Yeah, these last 3 or 4 minutes have been quite the experience. I mean, I was just listening to you rap an entire album right there, and I was enjoying myself. And really, it's the Ballad of Eternal Envy. He's just been walking from building to building, smacking them down, while his team takes fights and distracts the enemy. And this looks like it is all but over, with no combo to come for this one. A few more seconds left until the Static Storm is up.
That's being thrown out. Zoomies. I'm not sure. There it comes. I was wondering where my cough was that entire time. I was like, Jesus.
I was just letting you go. It was a beautiful thing.
Asthma, thank you very much, MVP. But they're going for one more.
Oh, come on.
Oh boy, it's the Sammy Boy. Where is he? Oh god, is he gonna get there in time?
No, there's no way.
That's unfortunate timing. It sure is, isn't it? It sure is. Maybe they should just stay here and let them... My disruptor is... They're just telling them. we won't move.
Somehow
We
I
will
don't
play
believe that
sleep.
will actually happen.
I don't know. Let's see. They might be confident enough.
A sour note. A sour note.
Oh man, the XD is coming out from Sword. This is the worst disconnect I've probably seen in my life. Let's see what happens here. Boy
Chance
with
says
the
no,
song.
give me-
Can he get over? Go, go. They're actually doing it. They stood still for
Oh
just
my
a split
God,
second there.
Eddie.
They're absolute players. But yeah, with a BKB turnaround, Nagasara's going to be dropped on the front lines, trying to get herself away to safety. They do get the false promise onto him, but unfortunately, it's the supports who are dying once again. They're just on top of Sammy Boy. There's your G's to the G's coming out from the Zoomers. Unfortunately, they are going to be losing this first game. Ouch.
You know what? Say what you will about NA Dota. That moment will never happen in any other region. So shout out to these boys for giving us the entertainment.
Yeah, nice humorous end, you know. It wasn't a large, big finale in the classic way, but a nice big laugh to end things out on. But yeah, unfortunately, Zoomies will be dropping game number 1. Man, it was looking good for Zoomies, honestly. I mean, how did the graphs look? Yeah, I mean, the graphs don't look too bad. Definitely feeling Fighting Pandas favored. That was kind of the 2 cores versus the 1, but I did believe in Sammy Boy, you know. I felt the redemption anime arc, you know. He was the man with the plan. He's got vengeance to seek on eternal envy, although obviously not holding that grudge super hard, as he was super light-hearted in this game. But, you know, unfortunately, though, in the end, he did just end up dropping off with that buyback and losing all their buildings. Doesn't really help with that side of thing.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the Naga Siren and Fusions game. We didn't feel a whole lot of impact out of anybody else. Unfortunately, pretty rough laning stage for everybody aside from Sammy Boy, and as a result, it's pretty hard to take fights against 5 very farmed heroes on the other side. I mean, Aoi game 2-1 and 14 on the position 5 Enchantress, looking like he was almost playing off lane. Eternal Envy completely unharassed the entire game, and fairly straightforward for the Fighting Pandas at that point.
Yeah, it wasn't a super hard game for them. They had their game plan and they were just allowed to stick to it and also stop the Zoomies from getting too much on the Nagasaren. I mean, she was farming really well and she had like plenty good farm for the position she was at in the game, but unfortunately in the team fights, you know, they just choose to go for the weaker links, they go for the other targets. They know that this Troll Warlord is going to be able to rip through the Centaur Warrunner without any real trouble, so that's just what they do. And that's going to be it for game number 1. Fighting Pandas take their first step forward in this best of 5. 2 more wins, and they will be at the minor. Can they do it? Stick around to find out. My name is Nomad. He's been elevated, and we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with game number 2 of Zoomies versus Fighting Pandas in the final game here in the NA qualifiers for the StarLadder Minor.